Okay, so in this video I wanted to go over a default basement attack on Clubhouse. And as always, we're going to start by analyzing a typical defense. So what I've got pulled up here is a somewhat default basement defense. So we've got a Maestro, we've got a Cade, we got a Smoke, and then additionally we have a Valk and a Jaeger. And I chose these options because I feel like this is a pretty good default comp. Honestly, if your rank stack were to run this, it'd be a solid comp. But let's go ahead and look at the reinforcements so we know what we're facing. Typically, you'll have church triple reinforced, as well as the center panel to gen, and the right side of dummy wall if you're looking from gen into the dummy wall. You'll also have 2 reinforcements in dirt. And then, of course, your last reinforcements will be on the moto hatch, the kitchen hatch, and the stock hatch. That's pretty typical. So let's start by looking at the different avenues you can enter, right? Obviously, you can come in through dirt. You can come down secret stairs. You can come down oil pit hallway. And you can come down main stairs. Let's just assume that at the start of the round you don't have any of the hatches open and they've properly reinforced them. So these are your typical avenues, right? If you don't do any hard breach, these are the ways you can come in. So with a typical default setup, you'll have someone playing over here by this rack in Armory, and that allows them to kind of watch dirt, and then you'll have someone maybe floating. This Cade is kind of floating in this picture, and then Smoke's either playing on gen with his deployable or in church. Either way, basically, the defenders can get a crossfire on most of these positions, and if you'll notice, they're basically all funnels, right? You've got the dirt funnel, you've got the secret stairs funnel, you've got the oil pit funnel, and you got the main stairs funnel. Except the main stairs is kind of different because you do have this little safe area off to the right from the attacker perspective, where you can kind of sneak down moto short. But again, trying to walk down moto long, like this is just suicide. Getting all the way down here, especially if this is like a foothold or something, it's not an actual rotate, that's not really safe. So right off the bat, you can see why, unless you're really confident in a rush strat and you're going to be able to win these gunfights, entering without any sort of hard breach is just like being fish in a barrel. So we definitely want some sort of breach. Well, in this attack, we're going to focus on a main stairs oriented push. So if we want to enter main stairs, we have to ask what makes this more difficult and what can we do about it. So let's analyze what makes it difficult to push down main stairs, right? For starters, you got the angle onto main stairs from moto. You got the angle from roughly where B2 is down long haul, and then you've got the angle behind the rack over here that you can shoot through this soft destruction. Typically, there's like feet holes, maybe a crouch rotate, something like that. So you got 3 different angles to contend with, and then of course maybe there'll be a deployable on the church door here in the long. So how do we deal with these things? Well, actually, both of the long angle problems can be solved with hard breaching hatches. If you open moto hatch, it's very difficult to play in moto as long as you don't over peak and you don't lose the gunfight. And if you open the kitchen hatch as well as soft destruction on kitchen hall and a little bit in kitchen, then it's very unviable to play where the Maestro was playing. Right? If I just switch floors here, you can see that the hatch we opened over here, moto, that allows you to get an angle. You can hop from the billiard stairs. You can see all the way into the church door. So you can essentially clear this out and hold this. And then I didn't move these red circles. So you can see, basically you open the kitchen hatch, you deny all of these areas. If you play soft destruction on kitchen hall, then you deny the long haul presence. So now let's look at what we have here, right? Let's assume we've denied the moto player, and let's assume we've denied the rack player, and no one's playing in long. They still could be holding an angle from here. At this point, the only thing stopping you from running down moto short is this long angle. If you can contest this or just not lose the gunfight to it, if you can avoid dying here, then it's pretty easy to get in moto short. But now the question is, what do you do from here? Like, what does this main stairs push give you, right? Well, to be honest, this current position doesn't really give you much. It's more a stepping stone to get what you actually want. And here, what we want is control of church. So how do we get to church, right? To take church, we need to have moto control. That way we can get right up onto the site and apply pressure. We need to have a way to clear out this moto player. And then we need to set up a strong post plant. So we've already done one of these things so far, just kind of looking at what opening the various hatches gives you, right? Opening moto hatch allows you to take moto control. If you hard breach this panel, then not only does that set you up for a run-in breach and plant right behind the black box, which denies this angle and this angle, but it also gives you a crossfire between your moto player and your main stage player onto anyone in church. Okay, so what does that do for you, right? Let's assume you've got this breach open, you've got moto control, and now you have church as well, so you can plant behind the black box. Well, if you followed so far through the strategy, then you'll have long haul control, you'll have moto control, and you'll have this side of Armory control, meaning that the only way they can contest you is from B2 and B1 and from Gen. And if you play it well, this is a really strong post plant. So that's the gist of the strat, is that ideally we want to have moto control, we want to have church control, we want to deny playability in long haul and Armory, and we want to get the plant down behind black box and church. So with the context of that established, let's look at our lineup and how we're going to do it. So the lineup we're going to be running is the same one that we did on our default CC attack. We're going to be running a Maverick, an Ace, an Ash, a Zofia, and a Nomad. And the reason is because right now, even though the attacker repick is coming, it isn't out yet, and I think this is a pretty solid comp, pretty flexible for most of what you need to do on Clubhouse. So having the same comp for multiple attack strategies makes it easy for someone to learn the role. Alright, so let's summarize what we need to do again, right? We'll start from the end and work backwards so we can see the steps we need to take to get there, right? The end is a post plant behind black box. To do that, we need to clear out church, which requires a double swing from moto and from the church wall. To do that, we need to open the church wall. We need to take moto control. To take moto control, we need to open the moto hatch. We need to be able to get this run in, which means denying playability in this side of Armory and in the long haul. Doing that means opening the kitchen hatch, opening soft destruction on kitchen floor, opening soft destruction on long haul, and opening moto hatch. And here's where it's a little less robust. And this is mostly due to the nature of ranked. Most teams, until you get to higher elo, aren't running dedicated roam strats, so the level of roam clear you have to do depends on the level of roam that the defense is bringing. And obviously that can be anywhere from a small roam on first floor to a deep, ratty roam on second floor. For the sake of this strat, we're going to assume worst case scenario, you have to clear the entire building. Now, especially when you're trying to push from second floor all the way down to basement, this type of thing can be really arduous to do because you have to be on it with your drones, you have to be on it with your time management, and you have to be coordinated with your 5-stack. Anyways, now that we've established the context for the strat, let's actually go over what we're going to do. To make the full clear easier, we're going to start with some prep drones. The first one's going to be a top main stairs. This allows you to watch the cutoff on main, and we're also going to have one in the drone hole between cache and red hall. This allows you to watch top red stairs. Having cutoff drones like this makes it way easier to clear second floor because if nobody comes up either of these stairs, then the only place they could have come up is through garage. But even so, that allows you to take map control right away because you know no one's second floor. The only place they could be is in garage rafters. For the sake of time efficiency, it's best to have your entries set up the prep drones because this allows your support players to keep their drones for later on in the round and continue droning in the entries. So Ash is going to set her drone top main and Zofia is going to set her drone on the cache drone hole. Meanwhile, Nomad is going to set a cutoff drone in strip because this allows strip control to be gained right away. Because as one team is clearing second floor from CC over, someone can enter strip and hold the cutoff from billiards, right? If they fall back through main door, you can hold this through the door. And if they try to go down main stairs, you'll be able to hear it and you can also get that. When the round starts, Zoff, Ace, and Mav are all going to head to CC plat and Zoff's going to breach charge open CC wall. During this time, Ace and Zoff should stay guns up while Mav watches the drone for them and does a little bit of active intel gathering if this drone has been cut off, and this drone could be cut off as well. Meanwhile, Nomad's going to hop on this drone for Ash while Ash takes strip. There shouldn't be playing anyone in strip unless they're a real rat, and if they are, Ash and Nomad should be able to clear them together. And I should mention that both Ash and Zofia should be playing breach charges because we're not bringing a sledge or a buck, so it's not only going to help you with soft destruction for walls like the billiards wall and the CC plat wall, but also with the vertical pressure in kitchen hall and in kitchen. Once Ash has cleared strip, Nomad can enter and play the billiards angle. This allows her to watch the rotate from main stairs or if they have construction hatch open. And Ash is going to play in bathroom and watch the kitchen hall rotate. This allows her to deny someone running down main stairs. While this is going on, Ace and Zoff should push in through the breach and clear the second floor, with Mav droning them. Ideally, these two should play together, and I had Ace push with Zoff instead of Mav because if Ace dies early on, you still have secondary hard breach. If Mav dies early on, there's no guarantee that you could clear a Cade Claw off the hatch. But regardless, Zoff will stay gun up, she plays first entry, Ace is going to play secondary entry, playing a little bit back, and Mav's going to drone for them while they clear second floor. If the first floor is clear, then Ash could rotate up to the hot tub wall, breach this, and help with the clear. Either way, the first goal of this strat is to efficiently clear second floor and establish a cutoff on first floor so that roamers can't safely retreat back to site. Once second floor is clear, it's time to clear first floor. Again, worst case scenario, this strat assumes that defenders have been able to work their way back first floor, so at this point, Mav will run in through the breach and play top red stairs. Ash can rotate from bathroom to billiards, help Nomad, while Zoff comes down main stairs. And Ace can push back into rafters so he can clear garage with Maverick. The exact ordering of this doesn't really matter as long as you manage to efficiently clear first floor and let your entries take the aggressive gunfights. Because again, we want your supports taking less aggressive gunfights so they can use their utility without fear of death, essentially. So once we have first floor control, we want to set up flank watch on main stairs so they can't creep up like the rats that they are, and also on secret stairs for the same reason. Finally, Ace will claymore off oil pit ladder, that way they can't come climb through the garage and flank through lounge. By the time you get flank watch set up, you ideally want a minute to a minute and a half left in the round. Regardless though, the execute's going to have to happen quickly, so everyone needs to know what has to happen. Mav should Mav trick the moto hatch, opening it up, while Ash rotates to kitchen and using her breaching charges to open up vertical pressure. While Mav is opening the moto hatch and applying pressure to moto, Nomad and Ash should be playing the vertical angles. This applies pressure to defenders in these areas and allows Ace and Zoff to push down main stairs and get ready. When moto hatch does get opened, Nomad should put an air jab next to the moto door from church. This prevents defenders from swinging them through church, through moto, and onto moto short. Now, it's gearing up for the execute. The last steps we're trying to accomplish are to open the breach here, set up a double swing on church, and get the plant down. In my experience, I don't find that a ton of teams play triple denial, especially in ranked, because it's more gunner heavy ops, but once again, this strat assumes worst case scenario that you need to clear this utility. Which is why we have a Maverick, because he's extremely flexible. This is why you have to play him back, because if he dies, it's very difficult to complete the rest of the strat. If there is wall denial, then you can have Mav drop through moto, Nomad can play the angle onto the moto door, and Mav can open up a little hole here to nade or for Zoff to stun. This allows a clear denial, but I don't think this should be too much of a problem, especially if you've followed the strat up to this point and have this map control. So let's assume Mav does need to come down. Then he'll go ahead and clear the denial. Ace will throw a Selma onto the leftmost triple panel of church triple, while Zoff kind of aggressively fires down long hall, because remember, we can't really control this angle with any of the map control we have. So her goal is to basically prevent them from peeking and to not over peek and die. At this point, with church triple opened, Ace and Nomad can get a double swing on church and hopefully clear out players that realistically could be playing in gen on either side of the likely reinforced middle panel. Could be holding from the double door if Ash isn't effectively applying vertical pressure, or could be playing in any of this rough area behind B2 or AK. Regardless, their goal is to pinch church while Zoff fires down long hall and Ash pressures off this area and long hall as well. Once church is clear, Mav should run into the breach, sit right behind black box, and get the plant down while Ace and Nomad provide cover from church side and Zoff provides protection from long hall. All this time, Ash should be continuing to control this area of Armory. And at this point, if you get the plant down right there, then you've got a really strong post plant because you have vertical pressure controlling this area of long haul and this area of Armory. You have an air jab here, so they can't really get into moto. And assuming that this has gone perfect, which it likely won't, you have two people that can control church and coordinate a double swing, as well as one that can directly control long haul. So that's the strat. And as always, I'm going to summarize it real quickly. Unfortunately, I don't have any in-game footage of this execution, but I hope that this brief summarization will give a broad overview so that you can execute it with your 5-stack. So, step 1, during the prep phase, we're going to place cutoff drones on top main to watch main stairs, on the cache drone hall to watch red stairs, and in the strip hallway to watch strip. After the prep phase, Nomad is going to watch Ash's drone and strip, while Ash takes strip, and Mav is going to drone in Ace and Zofia from CC platform. Ash and Nomad are going to get in position to deny rotate from roamers being cleared from the second floor, while Ace and Zoff push together across second floor from CC over while Mav is live droning them. And again, Ace and Zoff should play close together because refrag potential is huge when you're trying to do a roam clear from the second floor all the way down to basement. Once second floor is clear, Zoff's going to come down main while Ash and Zoff take bar. Nomad's going to go ahead and go set up flank watch on secret stairs. Ace is going to set a claymore on the oil pit ladder, and Mav's going to come down and help Nomad with lounge in case there's someone playing here. Again, this is less structured because if you clear second floor effectively, most teams will try to fall back. They won't play in rat spots. But I would encourage you, and this is why it's so important to have the entries set up drones so that the supports have theirs later. Drone this out thoroughly and make sure you don't swing blindly. Once first floor is controlled, we've got flank watch on secret, on oil pit ladder, and on main stairs to prevent anyone from coming up and ruining our fun. Mav's going to open moto hatch while Ash applies vertical pressure to kitchen, and Ash and Nomad can play the long haul area and kitchen together. And once again, when Mav opens the Moto hatch, Nomad's going to air jab off this to Moto and help Mav clear out Moto. That way they can't rotate from church into Moto. While this is happening, Ace and Zoff are going to push down main stairs and prep to execute on the breach. We'll assume that Mav needs to drop Moto, run in here, and clear denial. This means that Nomad will rotate to Moto hatch to control this angle. Ash will continue to control long haul and Armory. Ace and Zoff will get set up at bottom main stairs, with Zoff just peppering shots down long haul, not aggressively over peeking, and making sure that if she's going to get swung, she doesn't swing. It's really important to play your lives here, right? Ace doesn't need her to shoot. It's just effective to make sure that when they go for the run across, it's easier to accomplish. Regardless, Ace is going to Selma off the leftmost panel of church triple. Finally, Zoff is going to somewhat aggressively hold down long haul, while Ash applies pressure to Armory and long haul. Ace and Nomad are going to double swing church, and when church is clear, Mav is going to run in behind black box, get the plant down. And if you get the plant down, the post plant is pretty strong, so you should be good from there. Yeah, so that's the strat. Like I mentioned, the only thing that's somewhat complicated for most 5 stacks to do is actually do a full roam clear of second floor. If you determine you don't need to do that and you're comfortable with your flank watch, you can just go for a first floor clear and have some people enter garage or stock maybe, instead of clearing all the way from second floor, but the strip push should remain the same. I like the second floor clear because it's more thorough and establishes more dominant map control, meaning you have to worry about flanks less, so you can keep your mental energy where it needs to be on continuing to gain map control. And it's frankly just good practice if your team isn't really great at attack, because this type of coordinated roam clear is hard to do, and if you can get it down, you're going to be better coordinated. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope you've learned something.